Okay, so the previous video we just looked at doing a isometric drawing of this trolley. I'm not even sure if there's any sound on it, but there was this idea that all the lines that are parallel to each other, so if they're actually parallel to each other in the real object, then they are parallel to each other in our isometric drawing as well. Okay, so hopefully you ended up with something like that. And at the end of it, we were talking about drawing the wheels. So if I could find my little practice from earlier, you can see that I actually had a practice drawing some wheels in isometric. And if you remember back to those happy days when we used to just draw ellipses in the class, okay, just having a practice. This is where it kind of comes in useful, because if I take a couple of those ellipses, okay, and draw another ellipse inside that, then an ellipse inside that, you can probably see that starts becoming my wheel shape. Okay, so I see that there as a wheel. Okay, so we can just draw that. You could sort of turn it sideways if you wanted to, and just draw that as a, obviously draw it as a wheel there, and just annotate that. You can annotate that, put a bit of thickness in there. Obviously we've got the line inside as well. Okay, just to give it some depth there. But as far as our trolley is concerned, we're going to think about how we might draw a wheel aligned with something else. Okay. And if we think about this idea of an ellipse has a minor and a major axis. So this is the minor, this is the major, all right? And if we think about the axle that is on, so the axle that it rotates on is the minor axis, and at 90 degrees to that then is the major axis, okay? And that matters because if we draw two wheels together, okay, they will sit something like this and something like this, okay? And if I draw my ellipses behind, okay, this becomes my wheels here. And almost inevitably they end up slightly in perspective, okay? Try and draw that one inside there, and maybe that's my little axle in there, okay? And this becomes, as you can see, that sort of becomes my wheel. I'm now going to try and neaten up my ellipses if I can. Okay, this is the one inside here. Obviously I've got my little highlights here. Maybe this is slightly darker in there. Okay, and obviously there's perhaps a little bit of a shade on the inside of my wheel. All right. So we can think about how we construct this. I might do a video on how we construct this. Okay, but that is how we would get them in line. And obviously down here, okay, I can again construct this if I want to think about where my mounting bracket might go. And obviously that's my, okay, so this is my cart along here, etc., etc. All right, and obviously I'm going to do another one up here. Got my cart coming down here. All right, and then my other axle will be parallel to that, and will come out of here something like this. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, that's my wheel. This is my wheel on the other end. They're on here. Okay, so again, it's a matter of we can think about how we construct these things. Okay, to get the wheels in the right place. Okay, and so they vaguely point in the right direction and things like that as well. All right, so there's bits I don't see. Obviously I've done that quite hard, but there's bits I will see, bits I won't see. This is my axle mount here. All right, and cart. So maybe you want to have a go at that. Have a go. That's going to be parallel to that one, isn't it? Yeah. And I can go in there and start adding my adding my detail in for my cart, you know, thicknesses and things like this. All right, so feel free to have a go at that. Obviously, don't draw them inside, etc., etc. All right.